How's everybody doing? Give you all a real quick update. That engine, the cam break-in seemed to go okay. You'll notice the first time I started, I kept shutting it off and checking the timing, and what you didn't see is me readjusting the valves like literally 4 times, trying to figure out why it won't quit tapping. So after messing with it, like I said, I even dented up the valve covers thinking, well, the rocker arms were hitting, you know, so it's just, you know, I tried to break into cam, and well, every time I adjust the valves, it's like, well, they're all exactly where they're supposed to be. I don't understand. And it turned out I got 2 collapsed lifters, and it didn't hurt to lobe the camshaft, I don't think, because the push rod and the lifter is rotating, but with the engine not running, you can take it and just collapse it by hand, and all the other ones are super stiff, but there's 2 of them that'll just collapse by hand, and when it's running, the valve's just barely opening. And I know it didn't wipe a lobe, so I had a couple of bad lifters before on a build that I ended up just replacing with the old factory ones, and it was fine. But I'm not going to do that on this one. And because of trying to break into cam like that, not knowing, you know, what the hell was going on, because there's no way of knowing that without having the valve covers off. And let me tell you something, take one of them valve covers off and just hit the starter button, and that thing will spray oil all the way across the damn shop. Trust me. That's why the toolboxes are all oily and greasy on top of them, because I crank that thing over with the valve cover off, try to start it up and see which one, you know, now. And you got to turn it over a little bit to adjust the valves to get the engine in the right spot. So believe me, plenty of oil up top. I don't think I hurt the cam any, but there's definitely 2 bad lifters. So I'm just sick of hydraulic lifters, and that's not really going to work for what I want to do with this engine. The RPM range of this engine, where this engine's going to want to run, is above what that cam's going to want to do, and them hydraulic lifters. So I got a solid flat tappet cam that I'm going to put in it, and it's actually the first, not the 3030 cam, but the first generation or first design off-road camshaft. It's made by Crane Cams, but it was for the DZ302 in 1969. It's spec'd off of that cam, the exact same specs as the 302 cam in 69, the off-road camshaft. So that ought to wake it up a little bit. It's made to run between 4,000 RPMs and 7,500 RPMs, and they supposedly nose over to make peak horsepower around 7,500, and supposedly it'll nose over around 8,500. So that's just about right. We're going to stick that in there and just run a solid cam. Quick update on the truck. That slowly but surely getting the wiring out of it. That's nothing. Half of the wiring's already in the back of it and scattered just everywhere throughout my shop, like everywhere. But I got pretty much everything out of the dash except for those 3 wires that go to the heater. It's black, so I don't want to focus. Those 3 wires that goes to the heater, that goes to the little resistor in there, and that little wire there, and the heater switch. I'm retaining all that. I got my main power wire and my starter wire right here already wired up. I'm currently running some wires through that grommet right there. That's going to be oil pressure, or oil temperature, water temperature, tack signal, power to the distributor, and I got 1 extra wire just because I know I always forget something. So that extra wire might come out of there, but it might not. I figured if it is an extra wire, I'll just use it as a ground and ground to the engine, and then ground to the main ground in there just as an extra ground or something. But normally I'll forget to run 1 wire and have to I'd have to like run 1 wire on the outside of my wiring harness, and that bugs me, so I'm not going to do that this time. I'm just going to run extra. On the inside of the truck, you're not going to be able to see much. Let's get a light here. I found these wires right here. That's for the chicken lights up top. I found that. I got my switch panel installed. Like I said, I'm starting to run wires and starting to get things hooked up. I got kind of a mess going on right now, but got to get everything hooked up and wired up. I got new motor mounts in it. I did fix the cross member, well, fix the cross member up front. Just welded a couple pieces of metal to it. Some idiot put a chain around that. I take it this thing got stuck at some point. Some idiot put a chain around that and about pulled the damn cross member out from the truck. So it wasn't connected on that side. It's all bent over there. And the brake lines are attached to that. So I welded that up to keep it from flopping around. Just kind of scabbed on a couple scrap pieces of metal I had. And it's good enough for now. And what else? Motor mounts. It's already got a real nice new looking heavy duty clutch, so I'm going to go ahead and just reuse that. The throw out bearing's good. I'm going to reuse that. I put a new fuel system on it and a new fuel pump and everything, so I don't have to do none of that. Pretty much it's ready to finish it. I got to wire up headlights, turn signals, brake lights, everything for the engine, get the engine put in it. I was going to just drop the engine in and get it over with and throw the cam and lifters in it while it's in here, but man, it's so much easier to do it on the stands. I'm probably going to, I don't know, the radiator's in the way. So it's either temporarily move that radiator out of the way, throw a new cam and lifters in that engine right there where it sits, or take that engine off, put it on the stand and do it. So I'm probably just going to have to take that radiator and get it out of the way for a minute, which that sucks. But I purposely didn't wire anything around the radiator, so I could take that off. But anyway, that's what's going on here. Right now I'm just kind of waiting on parts. There's nothing going on. Also, I got new valve covers ordered. I don't know if I mentioned that or not, but as soon as the camshaft gets here, the engine will be ready to go. Finish breaking it in and put it in the truck. Get everything wired up. I'd like to get as much wired up as I can, get it ready for the engine. That way I can just drop it in there, hook a few things up and go. Fire it up and drive it, you know. Anyway, I really want to do something about these brake lines because that's just a mess. Half of them's been broke or bent or something from that little chain incident somebody did, and they're just not right. And I'm worried about them rubbing on stuff and wearing a hole in them, and I'm going to have to probably get some new brake lines at some point and fix the brakes on this thing. It'd be a convenient time to do it right now because there's nothing in the way, but I don't know if it'll get done or not, because I just need to get this thing done and start driving it. I hate driving my van. The heat sucks. Man, it's really, really hard on gas. This thing wasn't that hard on gas. Not 100% sure how easy on gas it's going to be anymore, but it can't be any worse than the van, I don't think. Maybe. I don't know. The van used to be good on gas, but not anymore. Well, there's your long, boring update. Sorry about all the heaters and stuff running. I've kind of had a really nasty ice/snowstorm. It's like 16 degrees outside and it sucks a whole bunch. Also, the roof on the canopy fell in again. That's twice now, and kind of just ripped itself to shreds to where the T-bucket might as well be outside in the snow. So that's kind of why I'm pushing to get this done. Y'all ain't been getting a lot of videos lately. I need to get this done and get it the hell out of my garage so I can get my T-bucket back in the garage and get my S10 back in the garage, because both of them are outside right now and it pains me. Anyway, there's y'all an update on what's been going on. You guys take her easy, and I'll see you in the next video.